Well, we're still in the book of Isaiah, and if you thought yesterday's thought for the day was interesting with Hezekiah's illness, then you're going to really find today's not only interesting, but probably challenging to you, because we're now in chapter 39, and we find that Babylon is sending notes down to Hezekiah, telling him about how glad they are that he's overcome his illness and that he's not going to die. And Hezekiah, uh, because he's naive, thinks that they really care about him, and so he invites them to see everything that he owns, his armory, his money, his silver, his gold, and everything that he has. He reveals too much. And many times we make that mistake in life. We reveal too much to too many people. I remember hearing horror stories in counseling situations where some man or some woman has revealed some inner feelings that they may have for each other. And as a result, the opposite person took advantage of those feelings, and a very unhealthy relationship developed. You see, we got to be careful what we reveal to other people. We need to think before we speak. We need to be sure we understand exactly what needs to be said and what doesn't need to be said. Well, Hezekiah revealed it all, and interestingly enough, Isaiah comes along and tells him the Lord has said, well, as a result of you showing him everything, you need to know that it's all going to wind up in Babylon. And not only that, but some of your children are going to wind up in Babylon as well. And Hezekiah is so strung out that he doesn't realize this is bad, not good. And this little chapter of 8 verses tells us that Hezekiah says, that's good. We're going to have peace and truth for a change. Oh, my goodness gracious me, how we can get ourselves into trouble by revealing too much and by being too naive about people's motives and intentions. I think that every one of us needs to pray every day, God, give me discernment. Discernment to know those that are real from those that are enemies. Give me discernment to know where to help and where not to help. Give me discernment about what to say and what not to say. I think it would be good for you, just 8 verses. Why don't you read Isaiah chapter 39 and recognize the kind of trouble that Hezekiah created by not thinking through all that he was going to say and all that he was going to show to his enemy. And that's my thought for the day. I hope you have a great weekend. If you've had both of your shots and you feel freedom, I hope that you're going to make church a place of personal worship instead of internet worship. But my friends, I would never tell you to go outside of the area that God has told you to go. We have a dear friend in Simpsonville right now who's struggling for his life with COVID, and we don't want anyone to take an unnecessary risk. I'm comfortable now going back to church, having had both of my vaccinations, and I'm going to try to be as active in person as I possibly can. But I truly believe that you always follow God's leadership. I have no right to override whatever God's told you to do. Just pray to God and ask Him. And if you haven't had your shot and you're a younger person, you may want to pray about and talk to some of the people that have had the shots. Be careful not just to take non-medical advice that comes off the internet. Be sure that you have a confidence in whatever you do. And that's my thought for the day. God bless.
Mm.